The effects of grip position on power. Last night, as I was coming to the end of another practice session, I thought I would do a short follow-up on my video from last week regarding power. I've heard that another way to get more power in your swing is to lower your grip position on the racket. Let's see if that holds up. For the first 8 shots, I really choked up on the racket. As I hit a few shots, I definitely felt as though I could bring the racket around faster. I measured the velocity of each shot, again using my microphone and camera setup. After 8 shots, on average, I was hitting it at 99 miles per hour. The top speed I achieved with this technique was 106 miles per hour. Next up, I lowered my grip position as much as I could and hit a few more drives. After 9 shots, on average, I was hitting at 105 miles per hour. The top speed I achieved here was 109. In general, dropping my grip seems to have increased my power by about 5%. However, the fact that my top speeds with each technique only differed by 3 miles per hour leads me to an interesting thought. It seems that by lowering your grip, it may be easier to hit harder consistently, which may explain why my average was higher. But if you can whip the racket around fast enough with a higher grip, it can compensate for the shorter racket length. At least this is my theory. This makes sense from a physics point of view, because if we imagine for a second that the racket is traveling in an arc, the velocity at which you hit the ball is equally dependent on 2 things: the angular velocity of the racket head and the distance between the racket head and the center of the arc. In other words, to make the ball go faster, you either need to lengthen the racket or bring it around faster. Anyone remember this from high school? Let's take a side-by-side look at the fastest shot from each test. As I went over this frame by frame, I actually brought the racket around faster when I dropped my grip. This was definitely not what I was expecting. It may simply be that dropping my grip here is closer to the grip that I always practice with. Perhaps if I had practiced with a choked up grip more often, it would have been the clear winner. So at this point, I can't really come to a concrete conclusion here. At least in my case, for such a small potential gain, it doesn't really make sense to change my grip if all I'm looking for is more power. I feel like this may not be true for everyone, considering we're all different, but I'll leave it up to you to experiment with this on your own. As always, if you're interested in these videos or would simply like to improve your squash, make sure to subscribe.